So in today's short video, I'll just be talking about the officially announced banner for Phase 1 of version 3.5, which drops in a few days. Actually, in 2 days, within 2 days, depending on your server area. So on the banner, it's going to be Dehya's debut banner and Cyno's rerun banner. And on the screen, you'll see I do have Cyno, so I'll just use that as an example. And then the 4 stars will be Cole, Barbara, and Bennett. So I'll keep this super short. I believe that this is going to be a must-skip banner for everyone. Unless you really, really, really want Cyno or you want constellations for any of these 4-star characters, I don't recommend wasting your wishes and your resources on this banner. Cyno is a cool character and all. Let's just start with talking about him. Because, you know, he was featured in the pre-launch closed beta artwork and animations and all that stuff. And just like with Ayaka, right? And then when he finally launched with Sumeru, and then there was recently a community poll, a survey that was going around. It's unofficial, of course, but it was going around on different social medias, and it summarized the biggest regret units that people polled, and players voted, I think, pretty highly that Cyno was the #1 regret character, and there were several of them actually, and I think the players were saying that he was clunky to use and not that strong and really not that interesting to use, right? Of course, this game is now in the 3rd year, and you know, we've had a lot of units already, right? So, you know, players are obviously going to compare, and I agree, there's nothing more game-changing about him. He's very much like Xiao, and Xiao to me is also very clunky, so, you know, and then even Yaimiko, who I've been using recently for the Abyss only, she's very clunky too. So, you know, I mean, these are just personal opinions, of course, but I'm just telling what I've read, revealing what I've read, and yeah, so anyway, so Cyno, to me, I don't even recommend polling for him, even though I have him. And Dehya, I mean, there's so much news about her already, right? And everyone already has their opinion. And I've already announced previously that I would be skipping her as well. So that's why I went ahead and polled for the current banner Staff of Homa instead. So yeah, and then let's just quickly go over the 4 stars quickly. So Cole, we all got one for free when we first got to Sumeru, and I believe new players to this game will still get a free Cole. I think it's guaranteed that you're going to get her for free. So I don't know that you need her to have constellations. I mean, even mine doesn't have very many constellations. I think I got one from the event, I think, and I pulled on the banner, because she came with the Kainari banner. So I did get some constellations there, but I don't even think that you need her at anything higher than C0, honestly. Like, you'll need her for Dendro, like, exploration of Sumeru if you have no other Dendro character, but other than that, no. But she's a cute character, but she's basically like a Dendro Amber, right? Barbara, I believe everyone still gets a free one now. When I started, there was a possibility, I started back in the end of version 1.0. So, I missed out on getting one extra copy of Barbara early on, right? But she comes back so often, and you can still get her, like, obviously from the standard and from, you know, off-banner and stuff. And obviously no one's really using her that much anymore, so it's not like you need to get her to C6 right away either. She's a good healer, definitely, and she's a good Hydro applicator, but she's no longer seeing much use nowadays. There was a brief stint where she did see some use after they released her outfit, as you can see on the screen, back in the first Midsummer Island adventure. But yeah, I don't recommend pulling for her, of course. Bennett is a very strong, and he's like still the best buffer character in the whole game. He hands down, in my opinion, beats all the other ones that are specific. He's a very universal one. He buffs any character that stands in his circle, basically. So, no one can really beat that. Like, you know, Kujosara buffs specifically Raiden Shogun and other Electro units. Goro buffs Geo units and specifically Ito, right? Shenhe buffs like Cryo units, specifically Ayaka and Ganyu, right? It's like, those are very specific and niche, right? But Bennett just buffs everybody. So, if you had to pull on this banner, then go ahead and pull for Bennett if you don't have a Bennett, right? But other than that, I wouldn't try to put too many wishes into this banner, and rather just save, especially now that they strip marketed Baiju and Kave coming in 3.6, and there are speculations and estimates based on Hoyoverse's previous release schedule, that, you know, Nahida is going to come, and now that Cyno's rerunning here, then the expectation is Nilou is going to rerun at 3.6 as well. I already did my rerun predictions, and those are my characters that I feel are highly likely to come as well. You know, there's still lots of debate whether or not Eula will come, and whether or not other characters will come, but regardless, I still feel like Nahida and Nilu will have a high chance. Right? And yeah, so I still think that Eula has a chance, but it may not be her, maybe somebody else, who knows, right? But regardless, that's a separate video. Check that out. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys polling for any of these characters in version 3.5 Phase 1? Dehya, Cyno, Cole, Barbara, or Bennett? I don't recommend it, but perhaps you have a very, a very valid reason, or you really, really want them, right? And that's totally fine to respect that. But I personally wouldn't recommend it. And if I had to go back in time, at the time of getting Cyno, I even said, if you check that video out when I was polling, I even said that if I don't get him and I lose the 50-50, I'll be happy. Not happy, but I'll be fine with that. I wouldn't go hard and heavy and waste, like, all my wishes for that. So, I'm just saying. And I don't even use Cyno now that I got his friendship level to level 10, so I didn't even bother. So yeah, anyway, that's my opinion of the upcoming banners for version 3.5 Phase 1. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you in the next video where I talk about the weapon banner.